I was gonna actually add this onto the previous video that I did about Patrice Cullors, but then I said this is a whole separate entity in itself. I mean, it's conjoined with what recently came out about her, but this one goes even deeper into something that has been talked about before. Remember how they were talking about how they didn't know where the BLM money was going and it was like $90 million or something like that? I think it's safe to say she's behind most of that missing money, like without a doubt. And let me also go on to say, because I didn't put it in the previous video, that so-called $1.4 million home that she purchased does not look like it should be worth that much money, especially after they showed the interior. Like, it looked like she should have paid it at the most, like a little over $500,000. I'm just being completely honest. But look at this headline right here. It says, inside BLM co-founder Patrisse Khan-Cullors' $1 million real estate buying binge. We gonna go through this like a fine-tooth comb. As protests broke out across the country in the name of Black Lives Matter, the group's co-founder went on a real estate buying binge, snagging 4 high-end homes for $3.2 million in the U.S. alone. Now that's just saying the U.S. It makes you wonder, does she have any real estate overseas? Because they said the U.S. alone, and the way they wrote that, it makes it seem like she has some stuff that's outside of the U.S. as well. Patrisse Khan-Cullors, age 37, also eyed property in the Bahamas, just like I thought, overseas, at an ultra-exclusive resort where Justin Timberlake and Tiger Woods both have homes, the Post has learned. Luxury apartments and townhouses at the beachfront Albany Resort outside Nassau are priced between $5 and $20 million, according to a local agent. The self-described Marxist last month purchased a $1.4 million home on a secluded road a short drive from Malibu in Los Angeles, according to a report. The 2,370 square foot property features soaring ceilings, skylights, and plenty of windows with canyon views. The Topanga Canyon homestead, which includes 2 houses on a quarter acre, is just one of 3 homes Khan-Cullors owns in the Los Angeles area. Some fellow activists were taken aback by the real estate revelations. Hawk Newsom, the head of BLM Greater New York City, called for an independent investigation to find out how the global network spends its money. I think it's safe to say we know where it's going. And remember how Tamir Rice's mother called out BLM and Tamika Mallory and Ben Crump for their doings, and Michael Brown Sr., Michael Brown's dad, was saying he wants $20 million. This is where the money's been going. And who else, and where else could this possibly been going besides her little real estate projects? Who knows? If you go around calling yourself a socialist, you have to ask how much of her own personal money is going to charitable causes, he said. It's really sad because it makes people doubt the validity of the movement and overlook the fact that it's the people that carry the movement. Last year, Khan-Cullors and spouse Janaea Khan ventured to Georgia to acquire a 4th home, a custom ranch on 3.2 rural acres in Conyers, featuring a private airplane hangar with a studio apartment above it, and the use of a 2,500-foot paved grass community runway that can accommodate small airplanes. The 3-bedroom, 2-bath house about 30 minutes from Atlanta has an indoor swimming pool and a separate RV shop that can accommodate the repair of a mobile home or a small aircraft. The Peach State Retreat was purchased in January 2020 for $415,000, 2 years after the publication of Khan-Cullors' best-selling memoir, When They Call You a Terrorist. In October, the activist signed a multi-platform deal with Warner Brothers Television Group to help produce content for Black voices who have been historically marginalized, she said in a statement. That means that's more money that's about to come to her pocket. And I mean her pockets. It is not known how much Khan-Cullors received in compensation in either deal. Khan-Cullors began her buying spree in LA in 2016, a few years after the civil rights movement she started from a hashtag Black Lives Matter with fellow activists Alicia Garza and Opal Tometi began to gain traction around the world. That year, she bought a 3-bedroom, a 1.5 bathroom home in Inglewood for $510,000. It is now worth nearly $800,000. Khan-Cullors added her wife, the co-founder of BLM in Canada, to the deed in a family trust last year. The couple married in 2016. 2 years later, in 2018, Khan-Cullors purchased a 4-bedroom home in South Los Angeles, a multi-ethnic neighborhood. Khan-Cullors paid $590,000 for the 1,725 square foot home, although the price has since climbed to $720,000 according to public records. 3 of the homes were bought in Khan-Cullors' name, and the Topanga Canyon property was purchased under a limited liability company that she controls, according to public records cited by Dirt, the real estate blog that first reported the March 30th purchase. Last year, Khan-Cullors and Khan were spotted in the Bahamas looking for a unit at the Albany. A real estate source who did not want to be identified told the Post. The elite enclave is laid out on 600 oceanside acres and features a private marina and designer golf course. Current homes for sale include a nearly 8,000 square foot 6-bedroom townhouse with a media room and marina views. The price is only available upon request, according to the website. People who buy at the Albany are buying their 4th or 5th home, said a resort worker who did not want to be identified. This is not a second home residence. It's extremely high end, and people are coming here for complete and total privacy. While it's not clear if Khan-Cullors purchased a property at the Island Retreat for the super rich, her mere interest shows just how far she has come from the hard-scrabble Van Nuys neighborhood in LA, where she spent her childhood with 2 brothers and younger sister. In her memoir, Khan-Cullors describes growing up in the housing projects less than a mile from the affluent and largely white neighborhood of Sherman Oaks, a community of wide lawns and pools where there is nothing that does not appear beautiful and well kept. The 4 kids were mostly raised by her single mother, who worked 16 hours a day to support the family, she writes. Growing up, Khan-Cullors lived in a 2-story tan-colored building where the paint is peeling and where there is a gate that does not close properly and an intercom system that never works. The only place in my hood to buy groceries is a 7-Eleven. Donations and pledges from corporations and individuals poured into the movement at that point. In February, the BLM nonprofit co-founded by Khan-Cullors told the AP they took in $90 million in 2020, with $21.7 million committed to grant funding and helping 30 black-led groups across the country. And we see where the rest of the money went, and then some. BLM leaders would not specify how much money they took in from prominent donors, according to the AP report. That means they got something to hide. It is also not clear how much Patrice makes in salary as one of the leaders of the movement, since his finances are split among both nonprofit and for-profit entities and are difficult to trace. Founded by Khan-Cullors and another activist, Kaylee Scales, the nonprofit Oakland, California-based BLM Global Network Foundation was incorporated in 2017 and claims to have chapters throughout the U.S., the UK, and Canada, and a mission to eradicate Dub S and build power to intervene in violence inflicted on black communities. That's what they say, but I highly doubt that's what they're going to do. The group does not have a federal tax exemption, and donations are filtered through Act Blue Charities and Thousands Current, 2 nonprofits that manage the cash. At the same time, Patrice incorporated the nonprofit she also set up for the similarly named BLM Global Network, a for-profit that is not required to disclose how much it spends or pays its executives. Some have criticized the lack of transparency. Newsom of NYC's BLM said, "We need black firms and black accounts to go in there and find out where the money is going." He added that his group does not receive any financial support from the BLM Global Network. That's because all the support is going to her. Neither Patrice nor BLM Global Network Foundation returned requests for comment. And they probably not going to say anything. Like, that's a lot of explaining that she has to do. But I bet you she's not going to be made to do it. This is another reason why I do not support BLM. Look at this. Did you hear all of those figures? All of that money? And this was not recent. Like they said, she started doing all of these purchases a couple years after BLM quote unquote got started. Like, she wasted no time. And she's flexing right now. Someone would have to have knocked me over with a damn feather before I donate a damn dime, a penny, a quarter, a nickel, or any other coin out there to this organization. You know what this reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of what happened with Bernie Madoff. Now, whether she's going to face the same scrutiny as Bernie Madoff remains to be seen. But to those who donated to this so-called organization, y'all ain't getting that money back. You just funded this woman's lifestyle tenfold. Her and her spouse and whoever else is getting money off of this. But that's, you know, and see, the thing is, they said she was making these purchases last year while these marches and protests were going on. So that probably means during everything involving George Floyd, she was probably out there making all these goddamn purchases. Protests be damned. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and all the others that perished in the last year, probably the last few years, be damned. She was busy lining her pockets and lining up a row of houses with your money. And I'm not talking about those who, you know, don't support. I'm talking about your as those who actually went out there and supported this with their money. I wish I would. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe if you have not done so already. Make sure that you text the number that's pinned down in the comments below so you can receive notifications every time I upload a new video or go live.